an interaction with the government and the president of Uganda as it relates to rebuilding the kingdom, the Rwenzururu kingdom. And then also number two, creating an income generating project. As a matter of fact, government agreed to buy for the kingdom the General Kazin Hotel in Kasese to provide income for the kingdom. And number three, Mr. Speaker, to create a Nyabawole Women and Girl Fund to support the women and girls in Kasese community, and also to have or serve the Royal Guards families with a resettlement package. And very lastly, Mr. Speaker, to take care of the medical bills and also facilitate a specialized treatment to the king. Mr. Speaker, sir, I raised this to ask respectfully government to work with the kingdom, the Rwenzururu kingdom, specifically the Prime Minister, and have a clear plan and a roadmap on when some of these things or all of them will be actualized, Mr. Speaker. I really want to appreciate you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Watkins. Government.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I would want to thank the member for the issues he has raised. First of all, the issue of appreciating you for the efforts of going there. Very few people appreciate. And I also want to thank him for appreciating you. And also, secondly, I want to thank him for appreciating the good relationship between the government and the Rwenzururu Kingdom. But what I want to say is that the issues he's raising of government supporting the girl child, most importantly, supporting the kingdom and supporting the royal guards, I'm going to take it up with the Prime Minister so that the plan will be brought here after discussion with the kingdom and the royal guards and him and the leaders of the area, so that we roll it out together and implement and work it together. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Tamaguzi.
That is Rule 52. Right Honorable Speaker, ministers to attend House to answer questions. Right Honorable Speaker, we have several ministers for different dockets, but right now we only have one minister yet. Only two. Imagine out of 80 something, we have only 2 ministers, yet they are supposed to answer very important questions for this country, Right Honorable Speaker. So are we moving procedure right Honorable Speaker?
Well, we can as well leave the questions. We handle other issues that don't require questions. Okay? Yeah. Okay.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Please,
it shouldn't
Honorable
be.
Tamaguzi, please. That's not how they access a microphone. No, it's not standing up, switching on, doing what you want to do. No. When you want to access a microphone, you stand up and you catch my eye. Like now, what you have done. Okay?
Right Honorable
But
Speaker.
I haven't allowed you. I haven't even called you. Catching my eye doesn't mean you start speaking. No, when you catch my eye, I call you. So, Honorable Tamaguzi on the floor.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Right Honorable Speaker, we have a big number of ministers. I think even Uganda might be having the biggest number of ministers in the region. But it hurts Ugandans to see that when we have such important sitting, we only have 2 people. There are several questions which these ministers are supposed to answer, especially at this critical moment, Right Honorable Speaker. So the issue I'm raising is not just a trivial matter. We want to see our ministers answering questions because you are now attending to matters of national importance. Each docket has its own minister. There is no single minister who should be a jackpot to answer every question raised by each member. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I think, are we really moving? Are we procedurally moving right?
Thank you. We have a minister for general duties. Okay? But honorable colleagues, what Honorable Tamaguzi is raising is a very important matter. Under Rule 52, Sub-Rule 3, Wednesdays and Thursdays specifically, maybe we need to share these rules with the ministers so that they know at least Wednesdays and Thursdays, they should be here to answer critical questions. So, yes, Honorable Minister for General Duty.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, what the member is raising is right, and what I want to say is that I'm going to raise it with the Chief Whip of Cabinet, that is the Prime Minister and Leader of Government Business, and I'll put it in writing and give you a copy so that it is taken by our head on our side in this institution. But I want to take this opportunity to also say, Right Honorable Speaker, we apologize for the inconveniences we have caused by our absence in this office, in this parliament, because it's so clear that in every sector, at least there must be one minister in here. And when you observe in our ministries, we have more than one. I thank you.
Thank you. So, Honorable Tamaguzi, I think let's pick the questions, okay? But this is, your point has been made, and it's a matter we should follow upon seriously. So, Honorable Byakatonda Abdul.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on a matter of national importance. Right Honorable Speaker, whereas Objective 3, Subclause 4 of the National Objective Directives, Principles and State Policy provide that there shall be established nurtured institutions and procedures for resolution of conflicts fairly and peacefully. And whereas this requires institutions of government under tripartite arrangement to ensure that at least they handle issues of grievances in the workplaces, to enhance industrial harmony, productivity. Right Honorable Speaker, this has compromised service delivery in a number of areas. Right Honorable Speaker, the issues at hand, one, we had the industrial action declared last week by technical and vocational schools all over the country, and all institutions are now at rest. This week, we have had industrial action declared by the teachers during third term, and this has caused a lot of unrest in our schools. The local government workers have also ended their notice of 90 days, and they are due to declare industrial action. Right Honorable Speaker, this is compromised service delivery and jeopardize our education. My prayer as Right Honorable Speaker is that one, government engages in interministerial dialogue.
Honorable Byakatonda, colleagues said we should always apply the rules now seriously. Rule 78, because I see you have a document you're reading. The moment you have a document you're reading, you should share with the members. Okay? Otherwise.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay.
No, you should share so that we put it on our system, okay? And these are your own rules, Rule 78 of our rules of procedure. So you submit, but I see you're reading a document and would have interest in that document you're reading. So next time, please submit it if you want to read. Otherwise, you should speak off cuff.
Okay, I'm not
but
speaking
you can refer to notes.
I'm not speaking off cut, Right Honorable Speaker, for avoidance of that anomaly. Right Honorable Speaker, now I would give prayers that I think there is a need for an interministerial dialogue where we should have means of education, means of public service, means of finance, and means of local government so that they handle this matter amicably and ensure that our children go back to school and teachers in the class. Right, Honorable Speaker, there should be a follow-up, because in July we had an engagement in the State House where we agreed on 4 semantic areas. 1, further enhancement, waiving payee, giving accommodation. All these have actually been part of the issues that would actually bring commitment among the workforce. But Right Honorable Speaker, I think there has been silence. I beg that there should be communication. Let's have a dialogue under the public service negotiation machinery so that we can actually resolve this matter. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Minister for Education.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank my colleague, Honorable Biakatunda, for raising this very important matter of national importance. True, there is an ongoing industrial action, but Mr. Speaker, as he stated, there is also an ongoing negotiation, dialogue, to see to it that we come to a common table and we agree. 2, as he stated, there was already a commitment from government of Uganda that we really cater for our teachers at all levels. And this commitment is still on. What I can say is that we've just started a budgeting cycle, and this commitment is being factored into the budget for next financial year. I just want to say once again, we commit for the welfare of the teachers, and the negotiation, at the end of it, Mr. Speaker, we will bring a statement to brief the House. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, in the VIP gallery this afternoon, we have Honorable Owere Asha Wilson, Deputy Prime Minister Tieng Adola, also former Chairman General, Uganda National Teachers Union. Muzare, Team Lecturer, Ecumenical Interfaith Association in Uganda. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me in welcoming them. Thank you. Colleagues, also in the public gallery this afternoon, we have pupils and teachers from Ombachi Satellite Nursery and Primary School, Arua City. They are represented by Honorable Feta Geoffrey and Honorable Osoro Maureen. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me in welcoming them. Thank you. Honorable Tebandeke.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on the matter of national importance regarding the removal of public address system in Kayunga district. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to bring to the attention of this august House the matter of national importance concerning the recent action by the Uganda Communication Commission, UCC, to remove the public address systems, commonly referred to as loudspeakers, community megaphones in Chitimbwa Town Council, Nkokonjeru Village, Kayunga Town Council, Nazigo and Kangulumira in Kayunga District. Right Honorable Speaker, these public address systems are standalone communication devices that do not operate on television or radio frequencies, thus posing no interference to regulated broadcasting spectrum.
Procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker, you earlier on guided the colleague before that as we rise on matters of national importance, you are not supposed to be reading it through without actually sharing the document. So I don't know if the honorable member has shared the document with us, since we cannot access it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the honorable member proceeding right?
Yeah. Honorable Tebandeke, please submit.
Thank you.
Colleagues, your own rules. Maybe we shall talk to the seniors here. We see how best to remove some of these rules. But like Rule 78, you know, it's a very serious rule. And on several occasions here, someone is submitting and the member says, I don't have a copy of the document the colleague is reading. So, Honorable Tebandeke, please comply with the rules.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, these standalone megaphones are used as security alerts community engagement, youth employment and engagement, economic opportunities, and emergency communications. Right Honorable Speaker, as my prayers is that the Minister provides a detailed explanation of the reasons and circumstances under which Uganda Communication Commission is removing these public address systems despite the non-interference with regulated frequencies. 2, outlines the potential social, economic, and security consequences of removing these community megaphones, particularly in rural areas where alternative communication platforms are scarce. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I would like also the Minister to clarify whether UCC has developed or intends to develop guidelines to regulate the use of public address systems to ensure continued operations given the significant benefits to community welfare, security, and youth engagement. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Let me guide that question be addressed to the Prime Minister so that we get a substantive answer. Like how you prepared the substantive submission and read it on the floor, the Prime Minister should receive it. And because it needs details, it can't be answered off cuff.
Most obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Let it be considered for Prime Minister's time. They give a written answer. Honorable Mutebi Noah.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I raise on matter of national importance. Government of the Republic of Uganda is implementing the nuclear energy project in 2 districts. The first phase, they are implementing it in Buyende district, and the second phase would be Nakasongola. Right Honorable Speaker, Minister of Energy has engaged stakeholders in Nakasongola. They had a meeting where they met the district executive committee and the council. They met the LC3 chairpersons and their councils and LC1 chairpersons. But Mr. Speaker, this is a political time, and what happened after that meeting, the propagandists started popularizing it, and they said that it is members of parliament who were in parliament in 2017. They are the ones who has caused the evictions of people, or people are being threatened to be evicted. Mr. Speaker, my humble request is that the Minister of Energy,
yes,
the Minister of Energy,
procedure.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm wondering why this old man is reading. At least Honorable Tebandeke is a younger man.
You're wondering what?
Why he's reading this?
Mr. Speaker, I am not reading.
No, please. I just want to know, you are wondering what? Because I didn't hear you properly.
I wonder why this honorable member of parliament is reading, and he looks to be a very well experienced man. Can he please just present without reading? I thank you.
Now, so honorable colleagues, the rule is very simple. It doesn't stop you from reading, okay? You can refer to the notes to refresh your memory, okay? But then the speaker under 782 can allow you under exceptional circumstances. So today, starting with Honorable Tamagusi, going to Honorable Tebande, now to Honorable Noah, I've allowed under exceptional circumstances. But I was just trying to remind you that you need to revise and you come when you're well-grounded with your submission. Clarification, no one on the floor. Yes, Honorable Martin Muzare.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we normally submit our matters of national importance to the office of the Speaker. And by doing so, I would expect that you are now in charge of that document. So by the time I come on the floor and read, I expect that the office of the Speaker has received my document, and therefore it can upload it on the system.
Honorable Martin Muzari, I never receive such a kind of questions. Members come, okay, and engage with me. And the reason for engagement is simple, to be guided, because I know matters of national importance should be questions of urgent nature, questions that cannot wait, and questions where an oral answer is even satisfactory, an off-cuff answer is even satisfactory. So why we share with you is for purposes of guidance, because many of you come and I say, Honorable colleague, I think this one is fit for the Prime Minister because we need a detailed answer after consultations have made. Or I guide you, I say, no, for oral answer, but addressed to the Minister, because the rules provide for all these kinds of questions. But matters of national importance are part of the communication of the Speaker. They are not among the questions which are provided for under our rules of procedure. So here I use my discretion, my time during my communication. I say, since I've communicated, colleagues, you might also be having very urgent matters you want to communicate, and I give you that chance. So they are totally different from the questions that are provided for under the rules. So conclude, Honorable, by going to the prayers.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for your wise ruling. Right Honourable Speaker, my humble prayer is that the Minister of Energy will go to Nakasongola district, particularly to Lakeview Secondary School, Kalungi Sub-County, and meet the village people, the residents, who are being threatened to be evicted by this project, so that they give clear picture, proper information, so that they get to know how the project will be implemented and what will happen. That's my humble request, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Minister for Energy.
Right Honourable Speaker, we are truly developing nuclear energy, mainly to enhance the electricity that we are generating in the country to meet the projected demand. It is also true, one of the sites that we have identified suitable for development of nuclear is actually in Nakasongola. It is also true that we are creating awareness. Nakasongola is, we have Buyende as for our phase 1. We have Nakasongola for phase 2. And we also have Gulu as our phase 3. And at the initial, when we started planning this, we created awareness. That awareness is what is causing what he's saying. And we're actually going to enhance the awareness. Nobody is going to be evicted from his land, especially when you are far off from the implementation. We are going to engage the communities, create more awareness on it, such that they don't have fears. In case that time comes, they will be compensated. We have a provision for compensation of the project affected persons. We shall engage them.
Thank you. Honorable Chibadia.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, on the 5th this month, there was heavy downpour. The rain had a lot of, the rainstorm was great, and the area of Naiboa. Naiboa is a parish in Butansi Sub-County in Kamuli District. More than 50 homesteads were destroyed, gardens were destroyed, and people's animals. There is a lady who is near there, who is a traditional healer. She took advantage of those families that got affected and people who had wounds and broken limbs because of the downpour. And now she's the one hosting and treating those people because the number was big and it will not be accommodated in Kamuli Hospital. So there is a lot that is going on there, Right Honourable Speaker. My prayer is in the small villages of Bulyampanda, Butimbo, and Buluke in that parish. The families are really struggling and suffering. My prayer, Right Honourable, is that the office of the Prime Minister could come to the rescue of these people, help them with some food, and at the same time, most of these structures that were destroyed really in this environment, they require some iron sheets and some help. So the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness could come to the rest of these people and really help them.
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank the member for raising this issue. It's very unfortunate, but what I want to request the member is that the committee should write, because when the district committee in charge of disaster writes, it gives details and the requirements that they expect from the Office of the Prime Minister. So if they could write, because just this morning we are looking at all of those issues that have come to the Prime Minister's attention, and it was not part of what we looked at this morning. So I assume they've not yet written. So, but also, Right Honorable Speaker, as a member of Parliament from the area, I would request him to take it up and rescue the people who are under the traditional doctor, because may not be able to handle the issues that these people are facing. And that may even exacerbate the problem, especially issues to do with health. But the Ministry of Health is going to take it up as the Office of the Prime Minister. We will also take up our portion. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Okasai, Minister of State for Energy, on the issue raised by Honorable Wanzara, from the information you had given, people within a radius of 30 kilometers are going to be affected. Okay? There must be homes. It can't be as simple as how you put it here. So I would request you that you link with MPs from affected areas. Okay? And then they tell you the problem and they are able to engage their communities. That would be more helpful.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. I assure the member we shall engage the MPs to lead us where we have done it in Busoga, where we have also engaged the cultural leader. We are also going to engage his cultural leader, and we're actually discussing with him that intervention. We shall take all the structures.
Thank you. Honorable Dr. Charles Ayume.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on a matter of national importance. Right Honorable Speaker, South Sudan is one of our biggest trade partners, and Koboko district, like many districts, border districts, host a number of South Sudanese refugees. However, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm concerned about the growing insecurity because we do trade with South Sudan. On the 9th of September 2025, a commuter taxi going to Juba from Koboko was ambushed by unknown gunmen, and people were killed. One of them is called Innocent Metaloro, and others whose names I can't confirm. However, Right Honorable Speaker, my prayers are our embassy in South Sudan takes interest in these killings and ambushes, because it's common that every 6 months we get these ambushes. And as a member of parliament, the funeral services are very emotional. We don't have answers. And as government, we don't have answers. So my prayer is that the embassy takes interest in following up these cases, but also too, government to government ensures cross-border security along the road, especially Kaya to Yei Road and Nimule to Juba. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Bokadidi, I know you're from the same area, and I saw, seems you have something you wanted to add on?
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The second person who was killed is called Kusanya. And what is sad, Honorable Speaker, is that the ambush occurred just about 200 meters away from a security installation of the South Sudan People's Army. So indeed, I add my voice to condole with the families, but also request that our government protects our citizens on the way to Juba, within Juba, because that's not the first of its kind. I submit.
Thank you. Honorable.
It's very unfortunate that we have lost lives, yet we are brothers and sisters with just artificial boundaries in between. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I condole with the families, but like the person who has raised it has advised that we should talk government to governments, and this case will be talking under the spirit of the East African integration. These cases used to happen, but they had stopped. Now it has started again. It's very unfortunate, but we shall take it up with including the ministries, East Africa, security and defense, but also to the level of heads of state, so that we save lives, because we are all the same.
Thank you. Lopes.
Honourable Speaker, I want to begin by doing something I rarely do. And to appreciate the acting Prime Minister, Right Honourable Justine Kasule Lumumba, because she's sitting in for the Prime Minister. When we raised the matter of the front bench, that time I think there were just two. She stood up and number one conceded, apologized to this House, and promised that they will do better. I think that's important. And for that, I want to give you your flowers, because rarely, very rarely does government concede on. So we've raised this issue, I don't know how many times. And usually whoever is sitting in for the Prime Minister comes here, says, well, ministers are busy, they are coming, and so on. But she didn't take us in circles, which is a good thing. And hopefully now, you'll follow up on the pledge, the commitment you've made to write, to see to it that the very many ministers in each docket, at least one gets to be available. That's a good thing. Be that as it may, I want to put two quick issues to her. Honourable Speaker, this here is our country's constitution. In law, we call it the grand norm. It provides for everything to do with the law in our country. Chapter 4, which is the Bill of Rights, has got several articles. One very critical one about personal liberty, Article 23, provides for the mode of how somebody gets to be arrested if they are suspected to have committed an offense. Who gets to conduct the arrest, how the person gets to be arrested. They are taken to a designated place. Family members, lawyers get to know this is where this person has been taken, and they are also held in that gazetted designated place for not more than 48 hours, produced in court. That's here in Article 23 of our country's constitution. Of late, Right Honourable Speaker, this provision of our constitution has been violated. People are picked up. You know, when we use the word kidnap, it is because of how people are picked up. A drone, that's an ordinary car. People wearing ordinary clothes, wielding guns, they'll break into people's homes or abduct them on the road and take them to no one knows where. That's not an arrest as provided for in this, our constitution. I saw the spokesperson of police, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Chituma Rusoke. He said, as we were raising these complaints, he said, no, the public is not going to give us orders on how we are going to conduct arrest. It's not the public, it is this constitution that orders government on how to conduct arrests. Article 23, it is here. So what we need to know from government is that the new mode of arrest, has government sat in cabinet and amended this constitution without the knowledge of parliament, which you preside over, Right Honourable Speaker? Because laws are made here, they are amended here.
So has Article 23 been amended, and by who, under whose authority? We need to know, because this business of just picking up people, they're taken wherever, beaten up, then we hear they are in people's basements. It is ultra-vires, it is outside of the law. We need to know, because this parliament is the custodian of this constitution. Second and final, Right Honourable Speaker. Again, regarding personal liberties, for a while, we kept demanding for answers from government about missing persons. One of those who was the name standing out among the pack, one John Bosco Chibalama, who was kidnapped on Martyrs' Day in 2019. The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Robin Anabanja, told the nation that John Bosco Chibalama was arrested and he was in state custody. Of course, we kept asking, where is he? Can we know? There were no answers after she admitted that. Last week I saw the spokesperson of the Uganda People's Defence Forces, Acting Major General Felix Kulaije. He was recently appointed in acting capacity in that role. He said Chibalama is outside of the country, and we know the country in which he is. I thought he was going to go ahead and tell the nation which country that is. So what I want to know, is that the new position of government, that this gentleman and the other missing persons, they are outside of the country? Because the initial government position by Right Honourable Robin Anabanja was that, no, this man was arrested. Where is he? We don't know. Now, the spokesperson of UPDF is saying he's outside of the country and we know where. Is that the new position of government? And why that is important is because it will help us. Who knows, even me, I might come here and I apologize to government and I say, I am sorry, all along I was saying you kidnapped this person, but now we have found out he is hiding in this country. So I apologize for saying you abducted him, and yet he's in another country. So we want to get that information now that it is coming from a government official. So is that the position of government? Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable. Procedure, Honourable Chiwadia. Right Honourable, just wait.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, my procedural matter is related to what Lope has raised. And this is an issue of human rights and matter of law. But we have the Office of the Attorney General, we have the Minister of Justice, now issues involving police. Internal Affairs has 3 ministers. Wouldn't it be procedurally right, Honourable Speaker, that maybe before the issue of Lope is answered, one of those people, one of the ministers in that docket could be given 5 or 10 minutes to come and give us a better line of guidance, Right Honourable. But it's you who is the custodian of the Constitution. You could guide it, Right Honourable.
Yeah. Thank you. It will be up to the Right Honourable Lumumba to say that I would need maybe support from the Attorney General, or if she can answer sufficiently, please let her answer. Let's give her a chance.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. The Leader of Opposition has raised issues. There are quite many. But what I can say, and which is paramount, is that we are all here because of the Constitution. And the procedure to amend the Constitution is clearly laid out in the Constitution itself. And the final body on amending the Constitution, the final decision, lies with this House. So, the issue of assuming that maybe we amended the Constitution, we don't have the powers as cabinet. The powers are with this House, the August House. So, there has not been an amendment. We've not usurped the powers of this, the Parliament of Uganda. The issues to do with arrests and human rights, Right Honourable Speaker, I would suggest that let this be part of what will be answered by the Prime Minister during the Prime Minister's time, because that is where we get even the benefit of where it is in writing under the signature. So the details will be contained in the the Prime Minister's time. I thank you. The issue is raising of the Attorney General, which my MP is raising. It is the Prime Minister to choose who should help her as she makes the response to the House. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Dur.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, under Article 208 C, it gives the function of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. And it is stated under that article that the UPDF is to foster understanding and harmony with the civilians, which is a good thing. In the past, we had not seen how practical this understanding and fostering of unity takes place because of the confrontations. But recently, I think last week, I happened to see a truckload of several trucks of the UPDF loaded with civilians who were dressed in uniform of one of the political parties, the NRM. And I was actually happy because that reflected the provisions under 208 that the UPDF is of national character. And we have been informed in this House in the past of the services that are available from the UPDF, including Ozima water, how to buy, if you want protection, how to contract security. But this particular service of transporting political was not told to us. And yet UPC, so many other political parties would now like to start transporting their supporters to different venues. So would it now be procedurally correct that the government now informs us of this new service and how the UPDF is fostering harmony and understanding with different civilians so that we can also benefit? Thank you.
Thank you. Right Honorable Rumumba.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the member. Right Honorable Speaker, when it comes to the work of UPDF, in terms of emergencies, UPDF also can come out and rescue Ugandans. So when the member comes here and raises this, unless I've seen it, I cannot explain. I don't know, since rains are on, they could have been somewhere and there was a disaster and the UPDF came in to rescue. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I cannot, unless the member gives me the details so that I get to UPDF, and then we can come and explain based on what UPDF would have showed us. But UPDF are human beings trained by Ugandans, taxpayers' money. They offer themselves to serve Ugandans. Thank you.
Thank you. One day you might jump on it and you mix with the prisoners. You transport yourself to prison. Thank you. Next item. That was on a light note for sure. Yes, Chiboga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand on a procedural matter under Rule 47, responding to the response by ministers to our queries. Right Honorable Minister, there are questions asked here, all matters that were already presented. I'll give an example of what Honorable Tebandeke tabled already. I also raised it, that the megaphones are not allowed in our laws, but it is selective implementation of the law. In some districts, they are cut off. In some districts, they are operational. And the Prime Minister had promised a response. But up to today, we have never gotten a response from the line minister. So could it be procedurally right that, Right Honorable Speaker, you call on members whose issues have never been responded? I think they should be compiled such that the ministers maybe get a recall to respond to them. Otherwise, you find a member coming with the same issue that you raised some time back, and another one will still come back, yet our rules stipulate 2 weeks response for these issues. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. I think that's a good proposal. Let's discuss it with the clerk, okay? We'll see how best we can manage it, and then I'll be communicating to the House and guiding the members. Thank you. Honourable Timugu, colleagues, we are behind.
Yes, thank you. Chair, I raise under Rule 9(1) and 7 regarding seating arrangement. One is that the Speaker will make it as possible to make sure every member is reserved a seat. I have noticed that there are some seats which have special names labeled to them. For example, where Honorable Tamaguzi is seated, and special arrangements are made for disabled persons. One of the names there is for Honorable Suman, who is a chair of sports, and I play with him football. He even runs faster than me. So I don't know how he qualifies for special arrangement. So I'm just wondering, under our rules, no favorable than the other member.
She walks miles every morning, not for money, but for mothers who can't make it to the clinic. He taught men in his village how to improve their health when no one else would. They are not on billboards, but they are saving lives every day. Nominate your hero for the Heroes in Health Awards 2025. Let Uganda say thank you. Nominations open July 29th to September 30th. Send a video nomination via WhatsApp +256 762 199 227. Visit www.hihaawards.com. HIHA 2025, strengthening health systems, empowering communities through self-care and sustainable solutions.
Transform your event with Peno Events. From elegant weddings to impactful corporate events, Peno Events has you covered. We specialize in crafting tailored experiences for any occasion, whether small and intimate or grand and large scale. Our services include cocktail seating and Louis mesh chairs for comfort and style, professional podiums and crossback chairs for formal setups, pagoda tents and standalone parasols for a perfect outdoor vibe, mobile toilets for guest convenience. Let our expert team handle every detail so you can relax and enjoy. Peno Events. Safe, reliable, stylish.
Diagram Evolution presents the Queen of the West, Omega 256. Lugaga Cricket Oval on the 19th of September 2025 in the Omega 256 live and concert. It's dubbed the biggest concert of the year with Omega 256. Queen of the West, talented Ugandan singer, performer, and songwriter. So Kampala, are you ready? Entry is 20,000 Uganda shillings, VIP 50,000 shillings, and a table of 8 goes for 1 million Uganda shillings. It's time to party. This is the first ever Omega 256 live concert in Kampala. The Queen of the West is in town. It's gonna be bloody. Powered by Sanyuka TV, NBS Music, Afro Mobile, Kadanke Brand House. nga tupakasa n'okuyiriba buli lunaku yonna gye tuyitira okwekuuma ku nguudo kulina okubeera omulamwa buli lunaku enkumi n'enkumi z'ababodaboda beeyiwa ku nguudo zaffe naye beetegese batya eri ebigo tebiraze tukwanjulya linnya step obweyamu bwaffe eri okukunga n'okuyigiriza ababodaboda bibeetaaga okumanya nga bakola emirimu gyabwe okuva ku mateeka ag'oku nguudo ebikwata ku bodaboda ze bavuga paka ku bujjanjabi obusookebwako mu kabenje tuliwo kulaba nti buli lugendo lwa boda luggya luggwa bulungi. Mu linnya step tetulinnya bulinnya booda, wabula tukulembera enkyukakyuka ezigenda okutereeza enguudo zaffe eri buli omu. Bwe tweyama okukozesa enguudo obulungi tutaasa obulamu. Twegatteko mu kaweefube waffe owa linnya step. Leero ffenna tulabe nti buli lugendo luggwa bulungi. Tusange ku mitimbagano omanyi enkyukakyuka gy'osobola okuleeta ng'okozesa hashtag yaffe #linnya step.
Beyond even the house. These are our elders who are doing a very good service. And also, he does not just speak for the sake of speaking. He only stands up when he has very substantive issues to raise. Next item. And there is no rule that stops him from speaking. If he wants to speak, the rules are ours. Thank you.
Item number 4 in the order paper, Bill second reading, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Bill 2024.
Honourable Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, in accordance with Rule 136 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Bill 2024 be read for a second time.
Is the motion seconded? Honorable Kumugabdia, Honorable Muuma, Honorable Mazari, Honorable Rand, Honorable Singonma, Honorable Tamaguzi, Honorable Aranyo, Honorable Masco, Honorable Dr. Nekesa, Honorable Kaduchu, Honorable Ariko, Honorable colleagues, the whole NRM side. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Honorable Minister, would you want to briefly, just briefly, justify your motion or brief the House?
Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, justification for the motion. The Energy Efficiency and Conservation Bill 2024 was read for the first time on 4th February 2025 and referred to the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources for scrutiny and a report back in accordance with Rule 135(1) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. The object of the bill is to establish a legal, institutional, and regulatory framework to enhance energy efficiency and conservation in Uganda. I beg to report the chairperson of the committee presents the report after the scrutiny.
Thank you. Honorable Chair. You don't need to read the whole report.
Yeah.
Summarize.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable Minister, honorable colleagues, I thank you for the opportunity. The Committee on Environment and Natural Resources received the bill. We went ahead and did consideration of the bill through its scrutiny, and therefore want to thank you for the opportunity to report. Mr. Speaker, before I go into presentation of the report, I would like to lay on table minutes of the committee proceedings during which we considered the report. I beg to lay, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Bill 2024 was read for the first time on the 4th of February 2025 and referred to the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources for scrutiny and report back in accordance with Rule 135(1) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. The committee has, in accordance with Rule 135(2), considered the bill and hereby reports. Mr. Speaker, the bill, I will just quickly run through its background, then I will go to the other aspects in light with the Speaker's guidance that we shouldn't take so much time with reading the entire report. Energy efficiency involves using less energy to do the same job. Improving energy efficiency is one of the most cost-effective measures that Uganda can take to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Energy conservation, on the other hand, involves using less energy by changing one's behavior and habits to use less energy in order for us to retain it for more strategic purposes. It generally includes actions to reduce the amount of end-use energy consumption. Mr. Speaker, energy is critical for the development of any country as it is a critical component of economic production. The trend for energy demand globally suggests that more and more energy will be required, and yet many of the sources of energy are finite, which makes it imperative that we devise ways to efficiently use what is available. At the same time, the increase in energy demand is directly linked to global warming and climate change. And as the Conference of Parties of the United Nations Framework Convention for Climate Change noted at its 28th meeting in 2023, there is need to double the global average annual rate of energy efficiency from around 2% to 4% until 2030. In developing countries like Uganda, the demand for energy is even more pronounced because of the need to improve infrastructure and to industrialize. Moreover, the countries such as Uganda, where over 85% of households rely on biomass for cooking, improved cook stoves, and efficient technologies, have the potential to cut fuel consumption by up to 25%, and in the process save 11 million tons of tree biomass annually. This not only reduces deforestation, but also is crucial for protecting biodiversity and curtailing global warming. Mr. Speaker, sir, energy efficiency and conservation are also key to attaining sustainable development and are equally critical if the world is to remain on course to attain targets set out in the Paris Agreement of keeping the global increase in temperature to not more than 1.5%. Mr. Speaker, the advantages of energy efficiency and conservation are numerous for Uganda. These include economic savings through the use of technologies that use less energy and therefore less cost, job creation through opportunities in innovation and manufacture of energy efficient appliances and energy security through electricity mobility, which has the potential to significantly reduce petroleum importation. By using energy more efficiently, energy demand can be reduced, leading to lower energy bills for the consumers, lower emissions for greenhouse gases and other pollutants, reduced need for energy infrastructure and increased energy scrutiny through the reduction of imports. Globally, energy efficiency has contributed to substantial savings in the energy consumption. Mr. Speaker, having said that background, I just wish to state quickly the objects of the bill. The objects of the bill are, one, to regulate the efficient and rational use of energy in Uganda. Two, to provide for regulatory functions of the commissioner responsible for energy efficiency and conservation and the minister in relation to energy efficiency and conservation. Three, to provide for efficient utilization of energy and for energy conservation in all sectors. Mr. Speaker, 4 is to provide for regulated use of specified energy consuming technologies. 5, to provide for financing of energy efficiency and conservation schemes. 6, to provide for public awareness about energy efficiency and conservation and to enhance and promote energy efficiency and conservation in the country. Mr. Speaker, the methodology is largely in line with how committees operate in this Parliament. We conducted meetings, we met ministries, line ministries responsible for this. We also had interaction with government institutions and other agencies. We met subject matter experts, professional associations, business community members, and did document review, amongst whom were laws of Uganda, policies in relation to socio-economic development. Mr. Speaker, I go straight to the observations. Mr. Speaker, under general observations, compliance of the bill with the provisions of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. The committee observed that the bill, through its principles, where it seeks to establish a legal, institutional, and regulatory framework to enhance energy efficiency and conservation in Uganda, reflects objective number 17, subsection 3, where the state shall promote and implement energy policies that will ensure that people's basic needs and those of the environmental preservation are met. 5.12, compliance with the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, containing the Sustainable Development Goals, is a blueprint for peace and prosperity for all, adopted by the member states of the United Nations. SDG 7 mandates all member states to undertake and ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. SDG 7.33 particularly urges all member states to double the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency by providing for legal and institutional framework for energy efficiency. The bill speaks to SDG 7 through its principles. Mr. Speaker, under compliance with the 4th National Development Plan and the Energy Policy 2023, the bill, through its objective of establishing a legal, institutional, and regulatory framework to enhance energy efficiency and conservation in Uganda, is in line with one of the pillars of the NDP 4, specifically sustainable energy development, which aims to, among others, reduce the share of biomass energy used for cooking. The bill is in line with Energy Policy 2023, notably under strategy number 4.6, where it says that to promote the adoption of energy efficiency and conservation practices. Under this strategy, the policy highlights adopting energy efficient technology and appliances and informed energy management practices that allow for rapid scaling up of energy efficiency. Specific observations and recommendations, Mr. Speaker. Clause 5A, in preparing and updating the National Energy Efficiency and Conservation Plan. The committee notes that the National Energy Efficiency and Conservation Plan is key in ensuring energy efficiency as it elaborates the targets set out in the energy policy and sets out interventions for meeting those targets. However, the committee notes that the bill under clauses 5A and 17 subclause 1, the obligation to prepare the National Energy Efficiency Conservation Plan is placed upon both the Commissioner and the Minister respectively. The committee further notes that this double assignment creates ambiguity and may lead to delays in preparing the plan. We therefore recommend that the role of preparing the National Energy Efficiency Conservation Plan should be left to the Minister, and the Commissioner's role should be limited to periodically improving it. Mr. Speaker, energy efficiency and conservation in the transport sector. The bill provides for energy efficiency and conservation in the transport sector.
Honorable Chair.
Mr. Speaker.
I think now you've gone into details of the clauses.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I therefore wish to note just a few recommendations. Mr. Speaker.
Those not related with the, to the clauses, majorly focusing on the principles and objectives.
Mr. Speaker, we wish to state that so as to...
Can just go to page 11.
Let me just run to page 11. Mr. Speaker, under 11, under clause 39, management of information, the committee observed that it is important for us to include other stakeholders outside government MDAs in the process, in the energy management process. We therefore recommend that this clause be amended in order to provide for consultation with other relevant stakeholders outside government, departments, and agencies. Mr. Speaker, the committee also recommends that under clause 42...
Chair.
Yes.
You see, you've taken us to committee stage. This is what you're going to be doing at committee stage. So,
Mr. Speaker,
page 11...
I beg to summarize as follows. That the committee welcomes the principles of the bill in establishing a legal, institutional, and regulatory framework to enhance energy efficiency and conservation in Uganda. The committee also notes that it takes cognizance of the impact of the unregulated use of energy inefficient equipment and its effect on energy equity, especially given the fact that the government, through the Energy Policy 2023, aims to achieve universal access to sustainable and quality energy services for all Ugandans. Mr. Speaker, this bill marks a significant step towards government's efforts to ensure that energy is efficiently and sustainably used for socio-economic development in the country. The committee notes that the provisions that relate to energy audits, incentives for energy-saving measures, and the involvement of local governments will go a long way in ensuring that energy efficiency and conservation across all sectors and of the economy is achieved. Mr. Speaker, we therefore move that the bill is considered with its merits by this House for purposes of debate and passing. I beg to move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Chair, your report is not complete.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we also got notice that some of the colleagues in the committee had a few dissenting views, which they wish to bring before the House by way of a minority report. Whereas, Mr. Speaker, I wish to note that during the consideration of this bill, the colleagues had informed, particularly the Honorable Shadow Minister for Energy and Minerals, had informed the committee that if it took a position that it took in as far as the areas where he dissented were concerned, in particular clause 19, 20, and 21, there would have not been any basis for him to proceed with a minority. We were baffled that at the end of the day, even when the position that the committee took was in relation to what he stated, he still came up with a minority. But be that as it may, it is within its rights and whims as a member of this House to come up with a minority. Mr. Speaker, I wish to give the opportunity for the other side of the report to be received. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Evans Kanyike.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will take this opportunity to present our dissenting views, which were shared with the committee, and the committee, we did not agree on the few ideas which are in our report. Right, Honorable Speaker, the statement of reasons for dissenting from the position.
Honorable, I request you read the report. It's not a statement, it's a report. So please just read the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, this report is moved under Rule 215 of our Rules of Procedure of Parliament of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, this minority report is submitted in dissent from the committee's majority report on Energy Efficiency and Conservation Bill 2024. While the intention of the bill may be commendable, its design and focus are profoundly mismatched with the Uganda's energy realities. Right Honorable Speaker. The proposed law risks creating additional bureaucracy without tackling the core barriers to energy efficiency and access in the country. Uganda's energy story is a painful one. Over 90% of families still cook with firewood and charcoal because of lack of alternatives, Honorable Speaker. While the modern electricity reaches only a small segment of the population, given this reality, you would expect a law that addresses the struggles of ordinary Ugandans. Sadly enough, the bill before us concentrates almost entirely on electricity efficiency measures, namely labeling, audits, and charging points. With only a belief mention of biomass, this overlooks the real issue. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, our people are not suffering because of the bulbs, because of bulb lack labels, or because we do not have the charging stations. They are suffering because electricity is too costly, unreliable, and often simply unavailable in many areas. If we truly care about the energy efficiency, we must tackle the heavy reliance on biomass, make electricity affordable for the average household, and propose solutions that genuinely reflect Uganda's circumstances. Anything less is merely superficial, while millions remain trapped in the energy poverty. Right Honorable Speaker. The grounds of our dissent are outlined below. Number one, the energy efficiency targeting electricity consumption in Uganda's in Uganda is self-defeating. Number 2, Right Honorable Speaker, the duplication and the legal overlaps. Number 3, the bill reflects climate change concerns but fails to align with or reference the Climate Change Act 2021, creating risks of duplication and policy incoherence. Number 4, Right Honorable Speaker, the electricity tariff already provides penalty for inefficient electricity users, Right Honorable Speaker. Number 5, the bill has a direct effect of the increasing cost of doing business. The bill, therefore, will significantly raise the electricity end user tariff. Then lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, is the unfair transitional clause. To elaborate our areas of dissent, Right Honorable Speaker, the energy efficiency targeting electricity consumption in Uganda is self-defeating. Right Honorable Speaker, Uganda's energy mix is overwhelmingly dominated by biomass, namely firewood, charcoal, crop residues, accounting for about 90% of the total primary energy consumption, with the remainder primarily from petroleum products, around 8%, and a very small contribution from electricity, which is 2%. Even if this proposed law led to 100% efficiency in electricity consumption, we would have only fixed 2% of Uganda's energy use stroke needs. A credible energy bill should focus on, to mention, strategies to reduce reliance on biomass through affordable and accessible alternatives. Number 2, mechanism to make electricity tariff affordable, thereby incentivizing a shift from biomass to modern energy. Number 3, investment in clean cooking technologies and rural energy access. By focusing on electricity only, the bill fails to appreciate the energy poverty in Uganda. Our proposal, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, we propose that under the Climate Change Act, legislation is intended to reduce the use of biomass while increasing or not reducing the use of electricity, and other eco-friendly energy sources should be promoted. This bill should be declined by this House and instead compel the Minister responsible for environment to do her job of handling all energy efficiency matters which are intended to support us to cope with the current and the future impacts of climate, Right Honorable Speaker. Number 2, Right Honorable Speaker, the duplication and the legal overlaps. Uganda already has a robust framework addressing energy efficiency, standards, and environmental management, making much of this bill redundant, namely Electricity Act 1999. It establishes ERA, Electricity Regulatory Authority, to regulate electricity generation, transmission, distribution, and sales. It also enforces efficiency standards and promotes renewable energy, Right Honorable Speaker. Number 2, the National Act, the National Environment Act 2019. It strengthens NEMA's mandate for sustainable resource use and environmental integration into development. Article 65 specifically addresses energy conservation. Number 3, Uganda's National Bureau of Standards Act. UN-based sets and enforces standards for products and services, including energy efficiency, labeling, and industrial processes, Right Honorable Speaker. Number 4, the Physical Planning Act 2010. It ensures all developments, including energy infrastructure. It also follows approved plans, energy efficient designs, and environmental safeguards. Now, as of climate change, when the country already has a Climate Change Act 2021. The bill was not brought in good faith, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, because all the provisions could have been ably handled through a statutory instrument issued by the minister responsible for environment as part of the implementation of the Climate Change Act 2021. For the avoidance of doubt, Right Honourable Speaker, it remains unclear whether the minister responsible for environment or the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, were ever consulted during the process of this bill. What is certain, however, is that their input would have been very paramount given their statutory mandate under the Climate Change Act and the National Environment Act. Their contribution should have formed the cornerstone of any serious legislative effort on the energy efficiency. The fact that their perspectives are absent, and were absent when we are processing the bill, this process casts doubt on the adequacy and the completeness of this bill. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, I invite you and I invite this honourable House to guide the executive that the efficient utilization and regulations of biomass use is a function related to the ministry responsible for environment, not energy and mineral development. And this can be done through the National Environment Act, the Climate Change Act, and therein the regulation is issued by the minister responsible for environment. Our proposal, Right Honourable Speaker, will reiterate our position that this House should not proceed with the third reading of this bill. Instead, we propose that this House passes a resolution.
It's time for action. Let's go! Get up, get up, get up, now let's go. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. Get up, now.
On NBS Sport has you covered. Whether you want to support the Uganda Cranes or our netball team, golf or athletics, both domestic sporting events in Uganda and international sporting events in which Ugandans compete are the subjects of our attention. What are you still holding out for? Catch all the excitement on sport action by tuning to NBS Sport, brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Ugandan sports.
With Momo, you have the power to pay for shopping more easily using your phone. Dial *165*3# or scan to download Momo app and pay for anything. No hassle for change. And even better, if you run out of money while paying, you can simply add core with Momo Advance. That's Momo. That's the power to be more.
Sad moments, and more especially death, are inevitable, but malaria deaths do not have to be one of them. Do not regret. The power to chase mosquitoes lies in your hands. Mosquitoes lead to death. One bite could cost you everything. All you have worked for will be left behind. Your children will be left in the hands of no one. All property will not protect you. Sadly, your friends and family will move on. Protect yourself and your loved ones from mosquito bites. Sleep under a mosquito net every night. Clear bushes and stagnant water around your home and close all doors and windows by 6 p.m. The power lies with you.
In Uganda currently, we have around 6 million PWDs. We realize that this is a group that is disadvantaged when it comes to access and use of ICTs. And certainly this was through the access and usage survey or study that was also conducted by UCC. What was recognized in this study is that there is low awareness of ICTs by these PWDs, and this is for the ICTs as well as the assistive technologies. It was also discovered that there is limited information about the people with disabilities. When it comes to information that could be used for planning purposes, it is really limited within the context of what is available.
Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UCOSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for Persons with Disabilities program ensures that all individuals, regardless of their abilities, can benefit from the opportunities provided by digital technologies and have an improved quality of life.
Kampala mornings, more like Kampala marathons. Why sweat in traffic when there is a better way to move? With Union, you're always one tap away from safe, affordable and convenient rides. Glide through the congestion like it's a VIP lane. Get there faster, safely at the best price in town. Download the Union Let's Go app today. Union, the better way to move. Uganda's future demands bold ideas and actionable solutions, and the UG Economic Forum 2025 is here this September to ignite that national dialogue. It's designed to spark real conversations, influence economic policy, and accelerate Uganda's transformation. We're calling on bold partners to lead the conversation, shape policy, and drive real change. This isn't just a forum, it's your chance to shape Uganda's tomorrow. Real dialogue, real solutions, real impact. Partner with us today. Contact
The Minister of State, the Honorable Okasai Oporot, informed the Honorable Committee while we are processing that bill at Africana that the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Bill 2024, if passed into law, would have the effect of reducing electricity consumption by up to 380 megawatts by 2030. This is very unfortunate revelation by the minister because it has the effect of, number one, significantly raising the electricity tariff when everyone is looking for ways of having a lower competitive tariff. Two, it lowers the speed of economic expansion as lower demand for electricity is expected to lower economic performance. Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, the unfair transitional clause. Right Honourable Speaker, clause 56 provides for existing consumers adopting the technologies that comply with this act. The bill compels consumers to be compliant with 1 year, while the majority committee adopted 2 years. Right Honourable Speaker, we find 2 years to be so short a time for a business already facing significant costs to procure new equipment that comply with the law in its current form. In conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, in its current form, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Bill 2024
is misaligned with Uganda's realities, duplicative of existing laws, impractical in its provision, and is silent on critical issues of biomass availability and financing. It also risks becoming an ineffective and unenforceable statute that adds bureaucracy without delivering tangible results. We therefore recommend that instead of passing this bill, the government should, namely, issue statutory instruments under the Climate Change Act and other laws like the Uganda National Bureau of Standards Act to provide for all relevant matters raised in the bill. Number 2, strengthen the enforcement and coordination of the existing laws and policies on energy efficiency. Number 3, prioritize biomass transition and clean cooking solutions in accordance with Uganda's energy mix. Lastly, lower electricity tariffs and incentivize uptake on modern energy sources. For those reasons, we therefore dissent from the committee's majority report and call for a reconsideration of this bill. Right, Honorable Speaker, we signed this bill, this report, myself and the Honorable Christine Kaya Nachimwero, the Shadow Minister for the Shadow Minister for Water and Environment, and the woman MP for Chiboga District. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable colleague. Colleagues, we are going to have a debate, but a debate on report on a bill is limited to principles and object. You don't now start going closer. This clause, right? We don't need this clause. We don't need. No, it's on principle and object of the bill. And then if you go on to committee stage, then you go clause by clause to the nitty-gritties of each clause. But before that, the Honorable colleague who has presented the minority report has raised salient issues, which I would request the Minister to first respond to and put the House comfort before I can open up the debate. And if you need Chair to add on, okay, Chair would add on, and then I open up the debate. Honourable Minister.
Right, Honourable Speaker. I take note what my shadow minister has submitted, my shadow colleague. Yes. And we have taken care of whatever he has submitted, and it was part of the debate. And for the notice of all the House, he was actually privileged to go where energy efficiency is being done. And he was driven in a car, which was an electric car from the airport to his hotel. And he clearly understood what law we were putting in place. So we shall answer the questions as we go through. And I request.
So, Honourable Minister, what about us who are not driven in the car?
Yes, you will benefit from the report, and I will ask.
Honourable Minister.
Yes.
The member has raised critical issues. He is saying, okay, that the proposed. You take your seat, Honourable Minister. Take your seat. He is saying that the proposed law is misplaced, it's redundant, okay? You would rather strengthen the existing laws, okay? Now, in your own bill, you have clear, and if you could use your own bill, you have clear stated missing gaps, defects in the existing law, which you're trying to cure. Okay? you have your own policies which you feel can be well maintained by. We can't just say we go on to committee stage, then stage by stage. No, we need to be satisfied. By the way, I must put a question on whether we should proceed the second reading. It's not that from here we are proceeding. So you have to justify why we should proceed. And if you can't do it, then make it easy for us. Honorable Minister, and if you need support from the chair or even time, you let us know.
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker. In coming up with this law, we actually studied the various laws that are, which he pointed out. And truly, if we went by that, we shall not achieve the objectives of this law. I pray that we go through the proposed law, and I request the chair, who actually officiated on this, to come and give a clear defense on this.
Chair, I want to supplement the...
Thank you.
Colleagues, you see now also the report is ours. So let's move in a way, okay? Give the minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I know probably, let me begin with the much lighter one, if you will permit, that the minister was attempting to emphasize a fact that should have been one that the committee should have benefited from. Mr. Speaker, there was an opportunity to benchmark where energy efficiency and conservation has been regulated. And Mr. Speaker, I deliberately, when requested to nominate members to participate at the benchmarking, requested the Shadow Minister for Energy and Minerals to lead the team of members of the committee that went, minus the Deputy Chair, minus myself, because we knew that should have helped the committee to understand better. Unfortunately, we never got a report from the leader of delegation. So if these arguments are brought here in the House, the committee may have been denied the benefit of this report for purposes. Mr. Speaker, I gave the colleague an opportunity to present. I therefore need to put the House in perspective so that we can debate the merits of the bill. Mr. Speaker, what are the issues that we seek to remedy? Mr. Speaker, currently, the issues regarding regulation as well as providing for a mechanism to promote, incentivize, and enhance energy efficiency and conservation are not provided for as aspects of the law. The laws that my colleague cites in the minority report simply provide for a framework under which other institutions may support the process of energy conservation. But Mr. Speaker, in this aspect, the law seeks to ensure that this framework of energy...
let's get a procedure point on
Thank you, Mr.
and
Speaker.
then we proceed.
Mr. Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you very much. And I have high regard to Honorable Kasai. And our procedure and practice, which is in our rules and unwritten practice, is that once the chair has presented the report, the opposition did its part. You are so kind, Right Honorable Speaker, to request the minister who owns this bill and who signs a bill to help the House and elucidate more. Right Honorable Speaker, by the minister ceding his authority is a vote of no confidence in the ministry. And it's something that some of us don't like, because that Ministry of Energy is headed by very capable ministers.
Ruth Nakabura, Honorable Kasai, very good professional and technical people. Right, Honorable Speaker? Don't you think it's just proper for the minister to own up? And since we have election coming up, to declare that the chairperson be blessed maybe as the next minister for energy. But on a serious note, Right Honorable Speaker, I think the minister need to own this bill because this is a serious bill. Or if you are not ready, you tell the House you are not ready and request the Speaker that you be given another date, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable colleagues, I've seen very critical, because these are laws, okay? These are laws that are going to be of great impact on us, and we need to scrutinize them very well. And it answers questions, a question that would be raised. And also, beyond the defects, you know, we always need the support of the Attorney General when we are having such a critical matters, especially now when you go to defects in the law and all that, okay? And also a discussion, okay? Because I received the minority report when I was here, personally. So I didn't know there was a minority report. But what I did, I got the chair and the minister usually, and that's how I work. I first meet them to know, do you have any contentious issues, so that we don't look shabby on the floor. We agree best how we can move. So now I received the minority report here, and it's raising critical issues. Some of the critical issues, the most critical question would be for the team to meet and agree that can we address these gaps through mayor regulations and statutory instruments, or we need to have them under a law? Okay? And I think there you can have a meeting of minds. The moment you have a meeting of minds, it becomes easy for the rest of us here to come and discuss with you and move with you. And so because of that, let's stand over. Okay? I would say we stand over this. We stand over this so that I give the two parties time to meet with the guidance of the Attorney General, Shadow Attorney General, and we come up with a way forward. Honorable Dur, is that okay? Because I saw you.
Yeah, Right Honorable Speaker, that would be fine, but I feel if you could spare some few minutes so that we can also raise some issues that may not have come clearly, just on the principles and the policies, and I'm going to cite a few examples.
So that all those issues are considered when they are meeting, okay? For the minister, take note. But that would mean that I've allowed the debate, okay? We can do it this way, honorable colleagues, okay? That we allow a debate without putting a question for second reading. So that all these issues, honorable minister, are captured, and then you come here, you give a response. It can be even a written response to the issues raised with the support of the Attorney General, and then if the House is satisfied, we put a question for second reading, and we go on. Okay? Now, whenever responses come, we usually allow one or two, depending. If they are satisfactory, members won't stand up. If they are not, members will again come up before we put the question for second reading. So I think, colleagues, we can move that way. We pick your issues. If there are those which need response, the minister can go and prepare a response. So let me start with Honorable Jonathan Odu, then I come with our senior. I will allow you, honorable colleagues. Let's use not more than 3 minutes.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, briefly, on the policy and principles, the minister lists about 3 parameters at industrial, commercial, and household level. My question is, on these policy and principles, there seem to be
a narrow target of the application of this law to the following: limited to cooking, transport, and in transport, they are targeting only motor vehicles. And yet, under transport, we have railway, we have aircrafts, we have water vessels, and they are not provided anywhere. When you come to issue of the other sectors, agriculture is targeted, there is a subheading for it. You don't see anywhere issues to do with manufacturing, oil and gas, mineral development, plus all these sectors that we talk about. So my interest is, are you bringing this law with a view of capturing a particular sector? And when you talk about agriculture, you know how many people are actually directly involved. So we need a clear justification why you are isolating certain sectors to apply in this law and then you are leaving others. The other thing is about the defects in the existing law. You have listed the Electricity Act, the Uganda National Bureau of Standards Act, the National Forestry and Tree Planting Act, and then the Traffic and Road Safety Act. The question I would like you to answer is, it appears you admit that all these laws are in some aspects dealing with issues of energy efficiency. So why are you allowing those laws to continue also deal with some aspects, and then you want to provide for other aspects of energy efficiency in this separate law? Is there a problem if you had gone to amend the provisions of this act or repeal completely so that we have only one law that can cater for everything else? I think those are the few clarifications on the policies and principle, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Baba.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In view of the presentation that the bill should also deal with issues of climate change and mitigation measures, I agree that the Ministry of Water and Environment should have been involved in this bill. There is no evidence on it when this bill was being presented here. Secondly, we have a number of international conventions to deal with climate change. Key among them is financing to support developing countries like Uganda. The UN system has set up funds to help mitigate issues of climate change so that we do not remain forever as carbon sink, absorbing all the dirt of the polluters, and yet they don't pay for it. I don't see in this bill how we are supposed to benefit from arrangements of financing globally, which the United System has set up, of which we are members. So, Honorable Minister and Mr. Chairman, kindly look into this so that Uganda does not lose out on these benefits, which are already agreed on internationally under global sustainable environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Keyo, then Honorable Pachuto, then I come to Honorable this side.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, what I want the Minister to clarify on is the question of the end user. Actually, if the burden is going to be the end user, I think it's to come out clearly, because even one of the dailies clearly indicated that if somebody uses a fridge, leaves a fridge on overnight, will have to pay. And it has really disturbed us, Right Honorable Speaker. People out there have got mixed feelings about this bill, that actually Parliament wants to pass a bill that is going to burden Ugandans as end users of electricity. So that when I want the Minister to come out clearly and allay the fears of Ugandans that actually, and secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, you efficiently use and conserve what is there. Take, for example, the islands of Sigulu and Wuvuma. What are we really going to conserve and efficiently use? This, I think, is a serious issue that actually we should not put the cart before the horse. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Speaking from my honorable colleague, Okeyo, Honorable Speaker, when you look at how this law, when it is passed and comes into force, I am wondering, in Uganda, in most parts of Uganda, if not all, we are now preparing for electricity. So if I've bought my yaka and I leave my cooker on or my fridge on, how on earth then does somebody, the energy officer comes and says, no, you're not sufficiently using energy? I thought it would be in a way of sensitizing Ugandans that when you leave your cooker or fridge on, you are incurring actually unnecessary cost than coming up with a penalty. But Right Honourable Speaker, other than that, it looks like this law is targeting on our traders probably not importing certain kind of equipment, certain kind of cookers or certain kind of fridges. What will happen if we pass this law this week and tomorrow it comes into effect? What will the traders that have these cookers and traders already in their stores, or some of us with these cookers and fridges in our houses, what will happen? What is government going to do? Is there provision for compensation? And then two, like what Honorable Keo said, some of our districts or parts of our districts have no electricity. For example, Obongi district has not even ever, the people of Obongi have never seen even a pole. Their member of parliament has ever electricity pole. So how are you passing a law that every Ugandan will have to use or benefit or work against them? And yet you have not reached every area of Uganda. Even where you have reached in Pakwach, half of the district has no electricity. Why don't we do the first thing first and then come up with other things later? Right, Honourable. But again, also the minister needs to clarify as they harmonize. The minority report clearly spelled out the concern about driving costs. Right, Honourable Speaker, we people of Uganda are struggling with whatever kind of business. There is no law that we should pass in this house that will drive costs other than bringing it down so that our private sector can thrive beyond the Ugandan economy. I thank you.
Thank you. It's, sometimes I ask myself, I say, but if you don't want something, why don't you ban it? Why do you allow me to bring it and then you say you will regulate my use? This is like the issue we have with the nets on the Rex. I should ask myself, who clears these nets? They pay taxes, okay? UNBS clears them, and then, so but on Pachuto, if you read, let's read the law, Honourable colleagues. Let's not read the law from here. Let's go deep. For example, the issue just raised, clause 56 of the transitional clause, which the shadow minister raised clearly that you're giving us only 2 years. So the debate would be, are 2 years sufficient? Okay, are we able to clear? But then also, Honourable Minister, when you have a law that is only punitive, no incentives, a very good example. When you look at, because I read through, when you look at what you call as incentives, you say the minister may. Okay? I mean, it's not helpful. We travel, we have been going on benchmarking, we see several cities, a very good example. They say in this zone, okay, cars which are electric, if they go into this area, they don't pay parking fees. They don't even pay congestion tax. The ones which are diesel will pay congestion tax of this much. Okay, can we go into detail if we want to sort out something? Okay. Honourable Shadow Attorney General, then Honourable Dr. Batua.
Thank you.
I come to you, PC. I'll pick all of you, Honourable colleagues.
I had the opportunity in 2012 to undertake a study in the US for 6 months on US energy efficiency, conservation, and security. When you look at this particular bill, one, it does not even mention all forms of energy that we should ordinarily have in the country. And it is looking at targeting a specific part of the energy. You are not looking at wind energy, you are not looking at solar, you are not looking at all sorts of things. So if you look at the definition sections themselves, particularly the definition of energy efficiency and energy conservation, you realize that these are matters that ordinarily would have been provided for in statutory instruments and regulations, but not in an act of parliament, as is. And if you are talking of legislating on behavioral change of use of energy, of course, if you misuse energy, the bills themselves will pay you. So you do not need to legislate on this. And then you are also anticipating technological advancement. You want to legislate on something that will come in the future. With all honesty, I think possibly this particular bill could be a work of some individuals targeting a specific product or business, but I don't think it is intended to help the country whose energy is currently, especially electricity, at 22%. So in my view, we should support the view that this is not a bill that should take Parliament's time.
Thank you. I had to call Dr. Batua and then UPC.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In energy efficiency, among many other things, we are discussing the idea of setting standards for appliances. These could be lightings, these could be equipment, they could be factory machines. But I want to say that since human civilization got us into industrialization, the concept of energy efficiency is just recent. A lot has been manufactured, a lot is on market that has not got these standards. For these standards to come today, the world will be redefined again. To set standards for a socket, for a wire, for a bulb holder, for even somebody who is in a house to say that the minimum size of a window you should have should actually be this to allow, a lot of light inside. You're rewriting so much to make it practical. So it is something that we should look at critically and know where to start and where to end. But again, when you look at industries, which could be an easier way to start, where we set standards for some of these equipments that are being procured, those equipments come at a cost since they are energy efficient equipments. That cost, how much is it? If it's rebates and incentives, we should know, because the ministry that is presenting this work doesn't have the liberty to give incentives. So that assurance should be embedded within the law for it to work appeasingly and for you to be true to your word that you're protecting the consumers. Otherwise, you're just going to raise the prices. Thank you very much.
Honorable Santa.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, I joined the minority report by saying that we don't need this piece of legislation. Mr. Speaker, listening to the majority report and the minority report, I'm fully convinced that the existing legislation that we have can address the challenges that we have. Secondly, when the minister was put to task to really convince the House as to why we need this piece of legislation, I saw a lot of difficulties. And even when the chair came to support the minister, I saw the chair giving us example of a foreign trip that the minority minister went to, failing to convince me in particular, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I was reading the report and the bill, I saw a lot of penalties. And yet, Mr. Speaker, if we are going to come up with a good law for energy efficiency and conservation, and we are leaving the majority of Ugandans, and we are not even targeting other forms of energy, Mr. Speaker, I don't think in this current form we are doing anything good for this country, Mr. Speaker. So I'm of the view that let's leave this bill and then we look at what we have the provisions. We are good at making laws, but the implementation we are poor at. I think that's why we are finding ourselves coming with yet another law, and yet we are failing even to convince ourselves as the House as to why we need this piece of legislation, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Singoma.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to join my colleague, Honorable Santa, in appreciating a pertinent point which the presenter of the minority report, Honorable Kanyike, put forward, that before you talk of conserving and bring about efficiency, prioritize the issue of provision of power for all. Privatize that first, then you can proceed on the aspects of efficiency and conservation. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, you all recall that since the disbandment of REA, it has been almost impossible to have most of our areas get any of their areas on the grid. It has been almost impossible. For the last 5 years, we have been grappling with this problem. All of us have been moving to the Ministry of Energy, trying to solicit for support in extending our areas to the grid, to no avail. So I think there are many issues which should be addressed by the ministry before thinking of conservation and efficiency, by focusing on these aspects of providing power for our people. We badly need power. The problem is there. The problem is ongoing. And the earlier we solve it, the better. Moreover, at the time when we're even going to elections. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Karwanga, then I come to Zimbabwe.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are still on the justification for the law. And indeed, I've had members, justification, I've had members, and I just want to state that the way we are now, you can do anything in Uganda.
Are you a member of the committee?
Yes, but we are still justifying.
No, Rule 214 does not allow you, please. We are at debate level, and the rules don't allow. Kindly. Let me call, we have, as you, okay, Honorable Namuga, then we have one of energy experts. In this house, we have many experts. Honorable Reku Joel. Yeah,
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and equally appreciate our committee for the report. But I'm in support of the minority report. Right Honorable Speaker, we are mixing issues here. Energy efficiency and conservation, the major problem is enforcement. So after failure to enforce, government is trying to convince itself that they need another law. That's the reason as to why we are all saying this law is very, very redundant. Honorable colleagues, everyone has been wondering about the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, where we have very old equipment coming to this country. For example, look at the area of medical. We have equipments that have been brought to hospitals, various hospitals. You fail to get the spare parts after a year. So is the problem the existing law or the enforcement of the standards of all these that we should bring in place? To Right Honorable Speaker, from the currently concluded census, extension of hydropower is just at 35%. And for Zimbabwe, we are at 14%. So I wonder how my good friend, my young brother, the minister, how you pick attention in extending, in bringing such laws in place than concentrating on doing your basic mandate under the national objectives and directive principles of state policy. Objective 27, you've clearly stated about basics. What we are talking at is a basic. You have failed to provide the basic. Then you are moving for the hardest. You've failed to do the simplest. So you are moving to what you cannot even do. So my friend, I do encourage you to concentrate on doing what is basic than struggling to even, look out for what you cannot afford. Right Honorable Speaker, we believe this law is very, very redundant and a waste of taxpayers' money in processing it. I want to thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Leku.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the bill on table is about energy efficiency and conservation. I think we are losing a point. We are not talking about sources of energy. We are talking about energy efficiency. When you look at energy efficiency, it's about using less energy either to cook or to do your refrigeration or to light the house. For example, if you had an appliance which is like 1,000 watts and you get an appliance of 500 watts,
So what do we do?
that is energy efficiency that we are talking about. That's what the bill is coming to address. Right on the Speaker, this government moved already. You remember we are using incandescent bulbs, bulbs which are ordinary, which are about 100 watts.
They have to legislate.
Government moved away from that one by giving us LED bulbs which were free. That was part of energy efficiency we are talking about.
Yes, but now what do we
We are
do?
now talking about how to get equipments which are efficient, which do not use a lot of energy.
Cookers.
And that's what the bill has come to address.
So what
We're not talking about
No, conclude. I want to benefit from your
yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. We're not talking about whether you're using grid power, you're using solar, or we are using thermal. But what we need is, you need an efficient appliance in your house. That's what we need. Right, Honourable Speaker, there was something which I talked about earlier, especially for the commercial buildings, where we could introduce a law where the commercial buildings install about solar systems on the rooftops, where they can generate about 20 to 30% of their energy needs within.
But Honorable Reku, the question, because whatever you're saying is okay, the question is, do you need a law? For example, like the intervention you gave on bulbs, okay? If, for example, government said that all government vehicles should be electric or hybrid, okay? Honorable Kasai. Honorable Kasai. For example, if government said all government vehicles should be electric, okay, or hybrid. It says no, government buildings should be, for example, have solar panels. You say we can widen the windows and all that so that we don't use AC in government buildings. All of that. Oh, you say we are not going to put tax on electric cars, and we are going to put charging points. Okay? Don't you think that would work better than the law? Because I would voluntarily bring myself to achieve, to benefit, and I would want to know countries which have such a laws. Countries which have such a laws. You say, for example, in Kenya they have this law, in Tanzania they have this law. Oh, we are going to be the pioneers and all that. These are issues which we will respond to when you're coming back. Yeah, just for you to reflect on. Okay. So, Honorable Reku, that's enough. Yes, yes, I wanted to allow Akiso. Then I come to Ruchiga.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as the Minister comes back as well to this House over this law, we request he looks critically at the matter of overlap of the legislation. When you get to clause 9, you realize that you are bringing in now local governments. As per the Local Government Act under Schedule 5, the duty to handle under Part 1, then Bullet 15, you are having it's entirely the central government to handle the energy policy. Now you are allocating local governments to CABINED so that they handle in each and every area of jurisdiction. So the matter of overlap, as raised by the Shadow Minister, it's very key also to see the assignments you have given to local governments. Otherwise, I associate myself with all matters raised by the alternative government over this matter, especially considering our consumers await us as Parliament to see how best we can provide more power to the whole country and reduce tariffs. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Roland. Honorable Madoya Isaac.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I associate myself with the minority report. Number one, when you look at the definitions, I found two definitions which are very intriguing. One is a dealer. Whenever I see a dealer in a bill, I get scared. The second one is the designated energy consumer. A designated energy consumer here, Right Honorable Speaker, they say means an energy consumer or class of energy consumers with an energy consumption threshold determined by the minister. When you look at this, Right Honorable Speaker, it automatically tells you that there is another body, form of a body, that is going to be formed somewhere where there will be staff employed, and then we shall start grappling with the costs of administration of this body. But most important, Right Honorable Speaker, you cannot have energy efficiency where you don't have energy. When you look at this book, Right Honorable Speaker, I hope every member of Parliament has got a copy. The report on public debt, grants, guarantees, and other financial liabilities for the financial 2024-25. There are pertinent issues, especially relating to scale-up project. Right Honorable, we approved this loan in 2023, and as of now, only 11% has been disbursed, and this loan is expiring in 2026. And we don't have energy, we don't have power in our constituencies and our districts. Our good minister should be telling us what is he doing with this money that we approved for him to extend the power to our constituencies and districts, instead of now bringing these bills which are very confusing. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Madoya Isaac.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want first of all thank you so much for the guidance that they go back and really try to bring together the views and come up with the law. You cannot provide enabling regulations in absence of the law. You can't. So to me, I'm going to agree with the minister. Bring the law and then you come with enabling regulations. Because we are in a period of actual development and indeed energy has become an issue. Some of us who are not here, you realize that the minister gave us even poles and we never got the wires and we are victims. But at the same time, there is electricity or rather power development in the country. We have importation of materials of all types, but we need to have a law. And that law should be expanded and also look at the existing laws to be harmonized. And when you harmonize them, then you come with enabling regulations. I want to be guided here by the minister through you. Right Honorable Speaker, do we have a law? And if it's not there, this is the moment for us to look at it critically. And in a view, to me, I want to say even the views of the minority report could be incorporated to enrich, to make a law. We should not treat it like a opposition matter or the government side. Those views were good, and they were lacking maybe somewhere. We can incorporate them. We look at also existing laws, enrich them to give the governance of this country. In the rural areas, the local government must have a stake. Because indeed, right now, whether you like it or not, there is a big issue. Where I come from, Bududa, looking for firewood, getting firewood, it's a problem. In the north recently, I saw them burning charcoal, but there were no alternatives. Now, we can extend the power. We can extend the electricity, even the solar system, but let's have the law. And this law, we should create it, not really create this, debate it fairly without fear of favor, and then incorporate those issues so that when you come to regulations, we should also discuss them at that stage. But as of now, I want to agree with the minister that we need a law. Thank you.
Now, honorable colleagues, this is the law where you can't bring politics. Even if you tried, the politics won't come in. I think this is a law this is an area that is very, very, very clear. There's no way you can bring politics in this area. Who wouldn't want to have efficient energy use in their home? All of us, we would. But now the question is, which is the bone of contention? Do we need a new law, or the existing laws are sufficient? Okay? The government side is saying they are not. There are gaps in the law. So, can we enrich the existing laws, or even under the existing laws, you have enough authority, enough power to bring statutory instruments, to bring regulations, to, and other interventions without necessarily going for the law. Okay? And like I said, Ari, I think I was sharing with the minister when we were in my office. I told him, I said, no, minister, when you're making a law, you make a law that fits in society, not society to fit in a law. Otherwise, it will be difficult for people to buy the law to, buying is very, very critical for any law which you make. So I'm not saying that we are having a huge disagreement. We are all saying we need to have energy efficiency. It's very critical, but the approach. And that's where we need to go back and we allow the minister to conclude. Honorable colleagues, let's stop. Rope, we'll stop on this. We shall open up again when the minister brings some of the responses. I will allow you to ask more questions at that time.
Right, Honorable Speaker, work was put into these two reports. I especially want to appreciate my colleagues on this end because they are not opposed to this bill even for political reasons. They are saying the objective of the bill is a good one. In fact, in the minority report, the word they use is commendable. However, and that however is what we are trying to address. Firstly, the good honorable chairman of the committee, he said something that was self-defeatist. He said he sent our shadow minister to benchmark. The shadow minister went and benchmarked. Now he has given you a report based on the benchmarking and you don't want to believe it. Now you who didn't go, why don't you want to believe the person you sent, Honorable Chair? I found that to be self-defeating. When you send people on a task, then they come back and give you a report as chairman. You believe that because you sent them well knowing, they are going to give you a good report. So please believe them. Away from that, Right Honorable Speaker.
The shadow minister may be reported to the shadow cabinet and they concluded.
No, I didn't even know about it. He reported to his boss who sent him on the benchmarking. But as we are saying, yes, want regulation. But one must it be in the law? Can it not be regulations? Good people, regulations are law as well. In fact, we call it subsidiary legislation. So not every law has got to be passed here. Statutory instruments, regulations. By the way, even our local councils are empowered by this house to make law. And it is also law. Those bylaws that they make should not be contradictory to the Constitution. Yeah? So let's not worry that a regulation is not law. No, it is actually law. And it is okay for that. But even as we do that, Honorable Speaker, I worry that our focus is on a very small percentage. Electricity. How many people actually have access to electricity? How many are utilizing it? Because the bigger bulk of our population is using biomass. Fuel, firewood, charcoal, plant residues, and so on. I don't know why we think that that's not critical. So even if we achieve, because the bill is saying efficiency and conservation, even if we achieve 110% efficiency, it will only be on a very small fraction, and that's electricity. How about the bulk of it? Because it's important. That's our population, Honorable Minister. The reality is that's our population. That's what they use a great deal of the time, biomass. So what we are talking about, because for us we think it should be regulations, if you want to do an all-round 360-degree picture, don't focus on just electricity, because then you'll not be doing much. And that's the point that we are making. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Honourable Minister, I think we've enriched, the
They told me this forest didn't exist 10 years ago, just dry land and tree stumps. Now, it's millions of trees, a massive wave of new green jobs, clean air, stronger communities. Ugandans are building their future with the backing of the European Union. Together, Tukola, built by Ugandans, backed by the European Union.
Wangula tukutuku ne sabuni jama. Uliwagula sabuni jama, Prestige margarine, sabuni owokunaba, owalanzo, owobuunga yosa, owatos, chapa mandasi, baking powder, ebibiriti bya solio, buto wa rinsen, omuzigo gwa kasuku ne tili, nala instant noodles, nebirala bingi nga biweza obukadde butaano n'okudda waggulu. Abo ofunira wakakonge kojjuza nga kakuyingiza buterevu mu kalulu ak'okuwangula tukutuku, n'ebirabo ebirala nfoofo, ebyobuliwo. Wangula tukutuku ne sabuni jama.
You've seen nothing yet. This Big Brother Naija Season 10